Fortunately not work out. There was a big pull from Solar, who managed to push it back with alongside 5 or 6 lings. The bunker did not finish. He lost only 2 drones. Wow. And so Solar put himself currently in a fantastic position. I apologise for that delay, guys. It was we've had a bit of a hosting nightmare today, but this should now be the end of it.
Hopefully, don't count your chickens before they turn into zerglings.
I'm a positive guy. Ever the optimist.
Yeah. Okay. So we should be good. Once again, we apologize. You know, just technical errors. They always wait for the best players, so you know this is a good series just because of that.
Now we do have a couple of Hellions coming out from our Terran player. I just feel like Solar's in such a great position. He's up 7 workers already. He has queens. He has a lot of lings and a Baneling nest now finished. He's droning heavily. His lair's on the way. Whereas TY is certainly not dead. Let's take a look at his tech. His tech is all very delayed. Stim not even started. His starport with no reactor.
Ooh, you know, I think he might actually be going for mech behind this. He's got that armory up, and the Hellbat's actually going to be coming in and doing what they can. The Baneling's not yet complete, but even just being very cautious with these Hellbats kind of tells me that he wants to keep them for later on, but that's not how you do it, TY.
3 Banelings get pretty good hits. These Hellbats very much softened up. They are going to look to go round to this 3rd base. There are a good amount of drones here and only 1 queen, so this is certainly a possibility. And actually, a slower reaction as Solar was dealing with this landed Viking, which has done a lot of damage.
Jeez,
like
6 kills already.
Trouble. We're about to see a fair few more, I think, Pasa, as we now are going to see 14 drones go down in this game for a total of 16. TY managing to take his early pressure, fail, and then make it work.
Yeah, so far he's like a bad start to everything, but really making the most of it now.
And now
Ooh.
The drone count is quite low. He's forced a lot of drones. As I said, that landed Viking did so much damage in the main. Those Hellbats with that run by also doing damage. Creep being denied. Solar just setting himself up so well. Behind this, he is getting his 3rd CC. Double upgrades. Oh, I know he's got 2 SCVs stuck. I see them.
That is the worst thing to happen as a Terran, because you just have that idle worker tab, and you try and you try and you try, and you never get rid of it.
Just makes
it's the most annoying thing.
And then they don't show up on the idle worker tab.
Yeah, but behind this, you know, TY is a little bit more defensive. He's sending out those Hellions just kind of poke around, see what they can get done, and just kind of keep his map presence out. Denying the creep is very important on such a small map, because it can be on your 3rd base very quickly, just because there is so many different angles for it to be spread out on. And, you know, TY, he's in a pretty good defensive position right now. It's going to be very difficult to break him with just pure Ling, and I don't think Solar actually has any tech beyond that. I think it's just pure Ling Bane right now.
Yeah, I'm expecting to see possibly a Spire go up pretty soon. How much gas is he currently mining? Solar's mining a good amount of gas. We may also see that Hydrodem, which is what he's opted for more in these last couple of games. He is mining on a fair few gas. I think he's mining 4 fully efficiently. Yeah, so he certainly has the gas for the tech. You can see Solar's already up to over 500. Usually when they bank like this, it is for mutas, but we've not seen that Spire at all. We're just seeing lings, upgrades, and drones.
Now, the question is, and this does happen to good players, does he think he made it and then forgot to make it? But good pick off on one of those tanks. 2 of them will go down. The Hellions will join them in Valhalla. But yeah, overall, Solar's just trying to force the issue with pure Ling Bane right now. That's pretty good in the early game when Terran doesn't have a lot of production, but as he adds those racks and goes up to making like 11 to 12 Marines at a time, getting those siege tanks out 2 at a time, those Lings just become so bad, all things considered.
Yeah, I certainly agree with you there. Solar is... Okay, so Solar continues to produce a lot of his Lings and Banes, as you said. His upgrades are about even, which is okay. He's certainly not falling behind in that regard, despite losing so many drones in that early to mid game.
Yeah, he's droned up quite healthily now, and he's got a pretty good economy behind this. Yeah, he's just got that infestation bit. The fact that he's going for melee kind of tells me that there's probably going to be Ultralisks on the map. Those melee upgrades also help out Broodlords, but once again, no Spire, no real tech beyond Banelings right now.
And in these very, very large numbers without tanks to support, this certainly can work for Solar, and all the tanks have stayed at home throughout every push. There are 4. And 4 tanks gets this many Marines, gets this many Lings for so much. For now, Solar is going to keep using his better maneuverability. He can get across the map very, very quickly. He can get between his main. The Hive has started, though, Passer.
Ooh, and yeah, that's really the kind of timer for the Terran. We don't see any other tech here. It's pretty much just Sensor Tower and Rax right now. Sticking with the siege tanks as well, I think he does understand that this is just pure Ling at this point. It's gonna get some stims out, and he's a lot more active in the map than he was in the game number 2, which I really like. It's just the fact that he is denying that creep, denying a lot of vision, a lot of maneuverability, and he's just kind of forcing Solar to go all over the place with. Oh my gosh!
What are you doing, Lings?
That's like a Bane run by that he just forgot about.
Yeah. Another good pickup here on these Marines off to the west of the map. Solar currently has his army completely split at either side, able to run by at any position, deal with any pressure. He has vision everywhere on his side of the map.
Oh no. He's reacting for Broodlords right now.
Yep. It does look like we are seeing that Broodlord production, 2 more starports. Now these can be for Liberators, also very, very good. Against the Ultralisk, if you can get that Liberator upgrade. We'll have to wait and see. Fusion Core is put down.
Ooh.
Come on, give me what I want.
Give the battle cursors. Just give us PCs.
Yeah. Give us the giant cows.
Yeah. Scan gonna go down. Just gonna reveal the tech choice. It is Ultralisks, like I was saying, and the good thing about having those double starports is usually they're for Broodlords, but like you were saying, it could be for Liberator production, which he was able to switch into very quickly, very efficiently. And even behind this, just
will allow for that upgrade on these Liberators. We should see that start. That's hard to say fast. Very, very shortly.
Yeah, 2Y's production is just absolutely insane right now. And it's only going to get better from here. He's got 2 more CCs that he can just float around the map. He's got 2 more relatively easy to defend bases. And even then, like, it's just insane. I'm looking at his production tab. It's just, wow. Every move that he needs to make, he is making right now. And we're going to just head into the late game with 2 very even armies.
Definitely. We're getting now Burrow also coming out from Solar, which is very, very nice. He can use them for burrowed landmines or just to deny bases with those burrowed Lings, force scans. There's actually very few bases left on the map as we do start to get a lot further in. Wow, a huge surround right now for Solar. So many Lings here, so well upgraded. Actually, +3 isn't even done in these Lings traded so efficiently. 7
well,
SCVs
they did
go down. The tank count I think reset as well. Oh, there are still 8.
Ooh. Yeah, and he has adrenal glands, by the way, so those Lings are now at their best. Even with those +3 upgrades, they're not going to be as good as they are with that adrenal glands upgrade. It's why they call them cracklings, you know? And now that his creep has started to kind of penetrate everywhere on the map, those Ultralisks as well are just going to be so speedy, even with this upgrade coming up. So now that he's got a bank, Solar is just really on top of everything, even getting that second Spire. So we should see the greatest Spire coming down here pretty quickly.
The army's now very, very much nearing max. As you can see, TY has the SCV count he would like. Solar also up to the plus 80 point. Both of these guys have got everything they need now. Now it just comes down to choice and micro and setting up the right fights. I really like the Ling Bane run by that Solar is setting up down here in this bottom left position. He also just has links everywhere, covering every path. There is nowhere that TY can move without being seen. Lots of Corruptors have been added. They can be morphed to Broodlords at any point, but they're mainly going to be to pick off these Liberators. Try and get the medevacs as well. Very nice to get a couple of these pickoffs.
Yeah, and you can
taking this space down here.
That is greedy Zerg. And yeah, I mean you can kind of see TY reacting to this quite heavily. He's going into that Viking production. He knows that Greater Spire, if it's not there already, it's definitely on the way. Because you don't just start morphing that many Corruptors unless you have the plans to make them in Broodlord. And we got nukes as well, so just getting every tech path you can is TY, and really going to push hard pretty soon.
Definitely. This is starting to look like a really exciting game. For those of you who watched this channel recently, we had Maru up against Su in a very similar game recently, and Maru managed to push it forward just with mass nukes. He did take that game in like a 35-minute game. It was absolutely mental. TY is now getting as many well, he's not actually has he added ghosts yet. He has 5. Maru opted to go for a few more than that. We do see a few of these units getting picked up in the middle of the map.
Well, that's kind of what he wants. Like, he wants to trade those out a little bit, make room for
more ghosts.
For those ghosts.
So now the Greater Spire is done. We have more Corruptors in progress. And we'll have to wait and see how many Broodlords he chooses to go for. Nuke 1 has started. Actually in a very nice position, start to clear off some of these. It will get picked off. And 0-1 when it comes to nukes.
Yeah, not the best start there, but to his credit, there was a lot of Spore Crawlers there, so we can always use that as an excuse. But actually going to get double Nidus as well. One thing is... Actually, I'm just noticing this. The sensor tower positioning, there is a big blind spot going towards the main base. So if you drop a Nidus there and drop a Nidus at the third at the same time, it's going to be really hard for TY to defend. But even getting a cancel on that base, Solar has full presence on this map. And TY is going to be struggling to move out now. Although these nukes, oh my gosh, if he gets it off on all of those Overlords, I swear...
So this is certainly interesting. There are a lot of nukes lining up. This one will go down. Oh my god, look at the supply block.
Oh my god.
Nuke also happened here. I think, oh no, all of them did happen. 16 drones immediately full. Solar, very supply block. Now the bank of Solar is very important to keep track of now. It's very good at the moment. But TY needs to play very efficiently.
If you take any more nukes like that, you're going to be in a lot of trouble. The Corruptors need to get out of there. He finally pulls... a bit late there, but he will get on out of there.
Nuked himself a little bit.
Yeah, but that's okay.
A little bit of radiation never hurt anyone.
Yeah, you know, he's going to get a third arm, which it just holds his sniper rifle a little better.
I like it. For now, Solar actually quite low on the drone count. He did lose a fair few for this, but he does have 9 Broodlords on the way. A very good number. He's getting those Infestor upgrades. We are seeing more and more nukes coming in, more and more static defense from TY, and I like TY's position the further this goes. He's already just shaved off 1k of that bank.
Yeah, and that's a really good start here. It's going to be very difficult for Solar to keep up with the production of these very heavy in-game units, and that's really what TY's target is going to be. The Ghosts gonna be sniping off these Overlords. Oh my gosh, can he see the red dot is the big question right now. Starts to pull the Broodlords back, so I think he does.
I think one of these Broodlords may be in a bit of trouble. May get out. It does.
Yeah.
Another nuke.
Yeah, nukes don't... Yeah, the big thing is nukes don't have a huge range, but this one's not gonna go. Okay, he does have detection.
Okay. That scared me for a second. Look at this Viking Conte. Very nice. Now there are a couple of Corruptors and things able to push these back. as well as those Vipers being produced quite a few at a time, actually, and we are seeing Infestors. 3 nukes at all times, 2 more Ghost Academies being added. And this game is certainly exciting.
Very exciting. Like, there's not going to be another dull moment in this game. As you can see, Solar moving around, just kind of rotating between his 2 different armies. He has more than enough units and more than enough tank to do this right now, even throwing down a couple of Banelings right inside of those Liberators, so TY needs to be paying attention to that. But,
Very, very scary. What Solar doesn't have is many Corruptors with this army. The Corruptors are mainly sitting up at this north side with the Broodlords to keep them supported. So eventually everything will be picked off. There are a lot of Burrowedlings here, very, very nice. I really like that. You either force scans or you pop up later and do a lot of damage.
Yeah, but I mean, unfortunately at this point, scans not really that big of a deal, just because there are so many orbitals on the map. A couple of good scans though, going to clean up that Baneling nest. He was kind of hoping for the best with that, but like you said, 18 Infestors on the way. Just getting Wings of Ling Vietnam flashbacks. Yeah. Wings of Liberty Vietnam.
My favourite. This nuke actually starting to look like it could be a little bit dangerous. It is noticed by Solar in time. He does pull back and will only lose maybe an overlord or so. No, next to nothing really.
No, it's a very expensive creep clearer at this point.
Now once again, as you can see, Solar's bank is dipped below 5k. It all comes down to the remax or the one big nuke. One big nuke can end this game. The other thing that can end it is a very, very efficient trade for Solar, followed by the remax on high-tech units. And TY doesn't have that money, doesn't have the production quite there to remax. You see 2 nukes looking to get on top of this army.
Oh no, he was trying to fungal them, but now he does need to get back here. The creep tumors, unfortunately, not long for this world. Oh my gosh, those queens are gonna have to work overtime. You know, they were hoping to just go home and enjoy their evening, but nope, more creep.
Now we do have a run by over to the bottom left by TY. Meanwhile, he is nuking continuously on this Spore Crawler Forest.
Yeah. This is the point of contention right now for TY. What I love for him, though, is he is keeping up with these run-bys, sniping the hatch down there, just doing whatever he can to force Solar to pull units away. These Ghosts going to be running on out as well, going to be setting up for those nice positions. I think this is the first time he's actually seen the Niduses as well.
Yeah, they've not yet come into use whatsoever.
Very risky to use them.
These nukes, I think there's 2 on top of one another here. There is. Bada boom and bada boom.
Yeah, it does not kill it off just yet, but one more nuke and he kills off the Greater Spire.
Very, very important. It does look like that may be about to fall. Now, the units do show up, but they are not where the Ghost is. The Ghost actually over to its right position. The nuke will go off the Greater Spire, and the hatches do go down. You also have another.
Now, that is a huge loss, because now any Broodlord that goes down cannot be replenished until those spires get back up. Oh, no. Solar. Starting to fall apart a little here. He's letting more of those nukes land. He's losing more and more to them. I think TY is starting to get a bit of a momentum advantage here.
TY certainly starting to take very efficient trades. He still has a large bank to have to deal with, but he's lowered that worker count substantially. Oh, and this nuke is very scary. Okay, there are
no.
here. So okay, he does. TY once again dealing with the space. He has a tank run by right now, Passer. That is alpha. Actually, not killing the base.
I really wish he would. I really wish he would have there, but really just wants to trade those out, I believe. But doing a bad job of it because there's no units to meet them. The Vikings starting to go down here. There's just way too many Corruptors to deal with everything. The Fungals also doing just massive work to this air army of TY. And he will have to forfeit this position for right now. Finally, those tanks starting to get taken out. But instantly, TY is going to be replenishing them with Marines and full-on Viking production, 9 at a time.
I do think TY's in a bit of trouble. He's just dropped 50 supply straight away, and he doesn't have any money, really. Obviously, his production now looks good, but the next round won't look so good. He's lost so many workers. The fungals are absolutely massive as well. So much of this army is starting to fall, and there's still so many Broodlords, so many Corruptors, more in production, Ultras in production. The Broodlord almost untouched.
It just sucks because he did so much damage when that run by. He got 1 base, 2 base maybe, and it just looked like he was doing so well for himself. Unfortunately, though, Solar just overwhelmed him on one side where he wasn't. And yeah, he's starting to get picked apart here. Currently 50 army supply to 150, and that number is starting to look like the stock market after... I was going to make a bad political joke. Sorry, guys. I'm going to stop myself there.
I wouldn't have understood it anyway, didn't I? Brexit means Brexit.
It's okay.
All these Ghost Academies now starting to fall. There is some units in production, but the supply tells an entire story here, unfortunately. TY down 132 supply in total. Quick maps. He is hemorrhaging units even still. There are so many Broodlords untouched. The production facilities are jumped on, and GG, Solar goes up 3-1.
Yeah, a great run by him right now. He's still got, like, don't worry guys, TY still in it, and if he gets knocked out here, he's not out of GSL or any other... Actually, is he out of GSL yet?
Yes, there's only Protosses, and... I'm trying to think who else. I think there's one Zerg player left. Guys, I'm just going to try and fix my overlay quickly. It does involve me unplugging and replugging in my webcam. I didn't do my hair, so I apologise in advance. It ain't going to be pretty, but it's going to work.
Oh, I almost slapped my screen because you got Spider on there.
Hey, he's spooky, isn't he?
Very spooky. You are ready for Halloween, my friend.
Always. Now we move.
Yeah, like just a great series out of both sides. That TY started to mount a comeback there, but lost his momentum, and it's going to be New Repugnancy.
I will make the map because I forgot you are not here. New Repug. Ellie, why can't I create with mod? Only party leader can do it. I am not party leader.
Because
I'll just leave the party.
Yeah, so yeah. Who needs a party? We're StarCraft players. We don't go to parties.
Precisely.
Unless it's Rainer Party.
Oh, I've never done that either. We are creating the lobby, guys. We will have the players in shortly into New Repugnancy. It is going to be our next map. It is currently 3-1. So 2 more maps for Solar, and he does take the series. I am just entering the lobby slowly but surely. Solar is going to take a toilet break, which is good because New Repugnancy won't even load for me. I have to download all the maps on Korea. My hair's awful.
It's okay. It's okay. Mine looks worse right now.
We will get these players invited. Invite. I don't particularly want to play against TY, but you know.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do, you know?
Do what I gotta do.
You gotta get your street cred.
I cannon rushed Kalajor once and nearly beat him. Let's see if TY...
Oh, good on you.
That was a funny game. We are just waiting for both of these players.
Yeah, but you know what you guys don't have to wait for? Great sponsorship deals. Because one of our big sponsors as well is GameStop. GameStop has always brought power to the players in every way they can, and now they're moving on over to the esports world. Go ahead and check out the Matcherino page. You got some epic sponsor quests there for you, and see some of the new initiatives, like the fact that they are offering coaching from some of the world's top players and coaches. So check out GameStop. Power to the players.
We're just waiting for TY. Players are starting to look ready. TY types something I don't understand. Ready? We are now loading into New Repugnancy, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, and he says, go, go.
Oh yes, both these players are very, very keen. They want this. They want this victory. A lot of money on the line today, guys. $115 last I checked. You can add to that for free with the Matcherino page. Please check it out. All you have to do is follow some Twitters, subscribe to some YouTubes, send a retweet or two, and these players get an extra bowl of ice cream today. So, guys,
oh man, that sounds really good.
I know, I'd love some ice cream.
Yeah, these games are just so spicy. You need some some ice cream to cool down after them. But you know who doesn't need to cool down? This guy in the bottom left position of the map. He is 3-1 TSG Solar.
And in the top right, playing for Team Splice. He loses the late game against Zerg, unfortunately for him, but he's got plenty to fight for. It is the Terran player, it's TY. Okay, so we're not seeing any early Raxes this game. I wouldn't be surprised once again on a map like New Repugnancy to see something cheeky out of some of these players. It is a good Reaper map. I don't think that's TY's style particularly, and it's also a pretty decent Nidus map. There's a lot of areas, a lot of tricky places you can get one in. We'll have to see what they choose to do. It is a smaller map, certainly room for aggression here.
Yeah, and one of the big things is a lot of the alternative attack paths are blocked by those rocks, so getting into the middle is really your only option in the very, very early game. And yeah, overall, we're just going to see some pretty standard stuff here. You know, TY, I think, hasn't really been the reactionary player. I think Solar's been kind of the perfect Zerg and just reacting to whatever TY has been doing. TY is just sticking with his game plan. We actually do see an SCV coming out here for a bit of a late scout.
Oh, there he is. Took me a second. Yes, the SCV is coming. I do think it will probably just be a scout. We're not going to see anything too cheeky off of the back.
You know, he might throw down a bunker. Like, that's a TVP move, is to throw down a bunker, but nah, he is just going to make sure that this was a hatch first. You know, just anytime I see an SCV out on the map now, I really start to freak out as a player because recently just proxies. I'm starting to get to probe levels of distrust for SCVs on the map.
I like it. No, TY is just going to play completely standard. He is now getting his factory after his CC. We should see the starport shortly following that, in case, unless he just does decide to go for anything a little bit different. This Reaper did manage to catch a drone, does force it into that geyser. It will cancel and remake, but this is money every time. I know it's only a small amount, but it is still money. This Reaper, and this drone isn't mining, it isn't doing what it should be doing.
Does he actually have any Zerglings out right now?
I think he did make 4. Yeah.
Okay, they are out. They just don't want to help out the drone. The drone's kind of didn't pay his protection money, and the queen has to come out to defend her baby. Oh, actually, he's gonna pull it back because he went for the other third base. Oh my. TY just getting unlucky with both of his attempts there. But he should be able to get out of there and scout that this is case. And needs to get out of there before speed's done. Otherwise, he is going to be fricasseed.
I think we may be about to see... Okay, maybe not. I was expecting the possibility of the switch into Cloak Banshees here, but it does look like the Viking is the opening for TY again, sticking with what he's been doing throughout the game. We do have the standard sort of 1 Reaper 2 Hellion push out to try and deny a creep tumor. As it spreads, it doesn't look like he is going for that angle just yet. Ooh. And Solar is going to be aggressive.
Yeah, you know, I'm actually been surprised we haven't seen more roaches from Solar, but this can be a very good play by him. Just absolutely blindside TY if he's not ready, and right now, there's no splash damage, just no tanks, no Widow Mines. So roaches against unupgraded Marines, gonna be very, very good, actually.
4 roaches in production. The first tank is now on the way as more and more roaches are added. There is no lair, so this isn't going to be a Nidus build, at least in the foreseeable future. Everything's going to be relatively standard for now. Just a lot of pressure. We'll probably see quite a few Ravagers. This is very Serral-esque. It's very much what he likes to do against Terrans at the moment. Hit at about 6 minutes with roaches, with Ravagers. Try and bile on top of those first few tanks. You can see the first few Ravagers do morph in. We'll probably see 3, I think, is the normal.
Yeah, and he's cut. He is cut. Nah, he hasn't seen it just yet, but he has cut drone production for the most part, only forcing out 2. But the Reaper actually does get wind of this, so now it's going to come down to those tanks positioning. Have to be really careful with them because any sort of high ground vision and that tank goes to the big shooting range in the sky. But here we go. Solar is going to get a couple miles off on the supply depots to get things started, but right now he is being very, very careful not to overextend. He doesn't want to lose those Ravagers too early on.
The tank on the high ground, absolutely phenomenal. The exact thing you want here. This is still a lot of units, and there is a lot here. The bio needs to come down on top of that bio, and it does. All very nice micro there so far by TY. TY pushing this back actually phenomenally.
Yeah, 8 workers. Wow. 8 workers do go down, but Solar just committed way too much to that. Got not what he wanted, and it's just a tap out. So TY getting another game on his docket.
Yep, certainly. TY managing to deal very well with the pressure, and I think if I'm Solar at this point, I'm thinking, okay, my early pressure, my all-ins haven't worked. So Solar map.
Asking for a remake.
No, that was earlier.
Oh, okay. So yeah. Yeah, Solar's tried these kind of all-ins, hasn't really worked for him. TY is very good at the defense, and yeah, it's like I think Solar just has to understand right now. You got to play him straight up. He's not gonna fall for those kind of things.
I hate how it automatically makes you join arcade.
Oh, you could turn that off in social settings.
Well, I didn't know that.
It's okay. Yes. Neither did I.
Waiting for Solar to pick the map. It is going to be King's Cove. King's Cove, not King Sejong.
Oh, let's just go on King Sejong.
Yeah, let's do
He did say he just said Kings. He never said King's Cove. We can kind of work around that.
I don't think we can.
I won't tell if you won't.
I think they will. I will just invite these players. Invite to game, splice, invite to game, and match history. Players are pending. Solar is in. Just waiting for TY. Solar is ready.
1A, 2A, 3A, 4A, 5A.
Typing. A lot of Korean. They're having a conversation, guys. We won't be long into the game. Just waiting for TY to give me the go-ahead. Go.
Yep, go.
We are loading into King's Cove, guys. King's Cove, is there one? King's Cove, guys. We will be there very shortly. You can hear the countdown. Beep, beep.
Boop. Yeah. You know, I always found it weird that they have the 10-second countdown for that kind of thing and don't just have it in-game. I think it would be a little bit better if it loaded in and then you had like a 3, 2, 1 counter.
They tried that for a while, didn't they?
Well, they were going to put it in, but no word on it.
Something about it. For now, let me update these scores. 2, 3? That's right, yeah?
It should be right.
In the top left, playing for Team Splice. He survives the pressure of last game and manages to get a second map. It is the Blue Terran, it's TY.
And his opponent, down here, had a couple of stumbling blocks, but still in command of this series so far. It is TSG Solar.
So much easier to do fun camera stuff when you're not talking. I always forget to do it for myself.
So, yeah, it's okay. Ooh. And you know what else is okay? TY is going to be going for a Proxy Reaper.
Certainly looks that way. We do see the gas coming down. This is going to be a very, very aggressive build out of TY. He's got it in probably the best place, and this is the best map for this build. It's almost If you're Solar, you're probably expecting something along these lines. He actually hasn't used his Overlords for Scout, which some Zergs choose to do. And he's also still going for that hatch first, playing very, very standard. So TY is certainly set up for this to do quite well. We have to see what the follow-up is. There are more SCVs being produced. It doesn't look like it's going to be completely all in.
Yeah, just the fact that he's only got one kind of tells me that this is just going to be a couple of Reapers, making sure that it gets there quickly. And yeah, overall, he's just going to pump out a couple, and it's going to blindside Solar a little bit. He's going to think that maybe there is more proxied out on the map, but he did see that this SCV came in from a weird angle, so sending the Overlord out might actually send that down.
The pool is nearly finished, and we will see probably 4 to 6 lings straight away. Now, the bunker is being thrown down, and if I am correct, it is in vision, yeah. The Overlord helping to provide that, and now the hatch finishing gives a lot of vision. I don't foresee this finishing. I think this is more diversionary tactics, as the Reaper now goes into the main. We'll have to see if it gets any kills. So far, none. He's going to start firing away, force a lot of pulls, force a lot of damage. Lings do come out, and actually I think this is being held relatively well. Reaper gets
it's just pretty annoying to deal with if you're Solar, kind of just to throw you off your game. And it does look like Solar's going to make a few extra sets of Lings just because he's a little bit worried. But behind this is just going to go into straight factory play. And once again, that very fast 3CC build trying to take advantage of macro style.
So Solar has a couple of choices here. He may see that he has held the pressure, decide when ahead, get more ahead, and go very, very heavy on the macro himself, as third is later than he wanted. Or he may just make a lot of units and go. The second option, very, very good for Solar. He is playing against the greediest Terran build you could probably do. Depending on when eBays come up.
Yeah, but the thing is, Lair hasn't really started here, so Nidus not really going to be a factor here just yet. It is a bit of a larger map in terms of that rush distance, so any kind of all-in will have a long distance to get there. But yeah, I mean, when you're going against this, I do agree with you that all-in would be a pretty good option here, but it does not look like Solar agrees with us here, as he's just going for standard drones.
Yeah, StarCraft is a game of missing information, and Solar doesn't really know what he's up against. He will now go in and see the third and probably think, oh man, if only I'd got a quicker lair, if he stayed in gas, something like that. He is now about to see that third is done. He knows...
Yeah, right.
I mean, I imagine he very much knows that is not the natural. He can tell from the buildings. He sees all the tech. And his response is to just drone. He is droning as much as possible, adding in a couple of spores, seeing that Starport is done. The Starport is switching over onto the tech lab, so we are going to see a Liberator. This is scouting to see Cloak not start as well, which is a good indication of what Solar's up against. And yeah, you can see by his spore positioning that he knows it's Liberator. Really smart. Too smart.
Really too smart. Like any other player would have just assumed that it was that BC rush that has been really making the rounds on ladder. But good reactions out of Solar here. He does have a lot of queens, by the way. He's been pumping them out very aggressively. So this Liberator, probably not the best option overall, but we'll have to see how TY can get on top of that. And even these Hellions staying at home. Oh, he might actually just use the Liberator. Oh, actually, I know what he's doing right now. He's going to do a big Hellbat timing with Banshees on the way. This is epic.
This is certainly looking very, very aggressive out of TY. He is adding Cloak. He is getting Banshees. Very, very good at dealing with Roaches, if that is the choice. It is not yet. Is there even a Baneling left yet? No. Oh, there is a Roach Warren, though. Okay, so the Roach Warren is here, and there are a few Roaches in the production tab. Now, TY is going to run straight up and get on top of this Queen. He will see there are a lot of lanes here. Actually, even just picking up all of these lanes early. Very, very nice. All the Hellbats do survive. He sees the Roach Warren upgrading. He knows what he's playing against.
Yeah, did he send he sent something to the third base that's starting to pick off workers, but oh no! Those Hellbats getting on top of everything. This is going really well for TY so far, getting 5 workers for this. The Banshees are not here just yet, but that Liberator just doing some very good work, even staying alive for another attempt. So behind this, is he going Sky Terran?
He's certainly looking to be going very, very heavily towards... yeah, he is. Okay.
Oh my gosh, this is awesome.
I've not seen this in a very long time. This is going to be mass Banshees. There is no speed. Oh, it's on the way. This is completely scouted by Solar. Solar literally is seeing everything right now. There are a few Marines still in production. Obviously, there is no stim. This is a mech-based build. Now, do we see Cyclones or do we see tanks out of the factory? That's the next question. It is tanks, okay. This is weird.
Okay.
I like it. I like it, though.
Yeah, this is just so weird. Nice. He is going for all those Banshees. I thought Hyperflight Rotors required a fusion core, but I guess I'm mistaken there.
Yeah, no fusion.
But
I'm just impressed
yeah,
with
I mean,
the name of the upgrade. I just call it Banshee Speed.
I'm sure everyone does, but I try and pretend to be knowledgeable so people don't know I'm full of crap.
Yeah, it's the best way to do it.
But yeah, I mean, this is very heavy into the air, and I'm really kind of wondering if it will actually work, because once those Corruptors get out, a lot of what he's going for is actually going to get taken out, and the fact that he's not making Vikings to kind of defend with this, like, we'll have to see how much damage he can get done right here, right now with this.
The positive thing is that these Banshees, when they do get that speed upgrade, they're rocket ships. They're Formula 1 cars. They can get away from pretty much everything. And they will be able to certainly get a bit of damage done. Once you have this amount as well, you are able to kill creep very, very quickly. Roach is also in 2-shot range. It's a very, very nice dart creep there. You can see there are Hellions, or Hellbats more likely, waiting to run in.
Yeah, I'm surprised he's not making more of those. They're just a really good mineral sink, and like, honestly, they're very good to kind of defend on the ground, because behind this there are a lot of Roaches, and Hydralisks are on the way as well. He has that Hydralisk den done, and Hellbats just absolutely decimate Hydralisks.
There is a hive in production now, and it is a quick hive considering all that's happened this game. TY's build is absolutely mental. You can see how quick they are. Corruptors have to take the better angle to be able to catch them. They do cloak as well, and these Banshees do all get away. They have seen everything that is going on. There are so many Corruptors being made. I don't know how this works.
Yeah, TY is just going for the late game here. Like, unfortunately, the Banshee's not really paying for themselves either. Just kind of denying that creep, which, by the way, has been kind of lacking for Solar here, actually. He's kind of kept his queens back because he's seen all of these Banshees and doesn't want them to get picked off. So it's really kind of hurt that creep spread a lot.
Now more tuners do go down. Oh my god!
Oh.
But, no delay in replacing them. Let's put it that way. I want to watch this.
Yeah, this is epic.
These queens pooping out that creep as quick as they can. Oh, they ran out.
Yeah, he bit off a little bit more than they could chew. Yeah. You know, they were trying to be the superheroes, and they can only get to, like, demigod status.
A few Marines come out here just to try and deny even more creep. They just pick up a queen or two. It'd be very, very nice. These Marines are actually just cannon fodder at this point. They are not part of the plans. Reduced to the armory, we do see that Banshee upgrade as well as +1 air weapons. This game is so odd.
I'm just waiting for the battle cruisers, because the fact that he's gone air mech, like, he needs battle cruisers to make this worth it, because if you don't make battle cruisers and you have this many starports, you fail as a Terran. Like, GG, get out of my race.
So we are seeing the Cyclone upgrade as well being researched, but no Cyclones in production. Slightly interesting. The air army is absolutely huge right now for TY. He is very, very safe against any push. Banshees as well, very, very quick to deal with like Roach counterattacks alongside the Planetary. I can't see too much getting done there.
Yeah, just really playing for the late game is TY, which kind of hurting him a little bit because Solar is starting to build that kind of massive pre-max bank.
Yeah, the bank of Solar is certainly already large. 3k, 2k before you're maxed. Very, very nice. Every tech choice under the sun is on the way.
And the reason he's not maxing out is because he needs some supply for those Broodlords too. There we go. There's the Cattle Bruisers.
Yay. Okay, so the giant floating space cows are on the way.
There is a lot of Corruptors out, so I'm going to have to be careful with them, but with that jump ability, they will be able to get out of harm's way. And these Corruptors actually can't get too far forward here just because they will get picked off by the missile turrets. So, yeah, overall, just TY playing it very safe, very, very macro-oriented. Even more starports. Oh my gosh, how is he going to afford to produce out of all of these?
TY does have a lot of money. He has 101 workers.
Oh my gosh.
This game is weird. Okay, so right, let's break this down a little bit. There's going to be mass battle cruisers. They will have that missile upgrade. Come on, Grant, you can do this. Nope, gone. So they will be able to one-shot Corruptors and Queens and things. Infestors will be very, very good. I don't know if Mira was upgraded. If it wasn't, that would be a very, very good upgrade in this scenario. The battle cruisers
right
now be able to do a lot of harassment.
Yeah, he's got to wait for the big numbers though to take the big fight. And was it Solar that Gumiho did this kind of style to on Year Zero in the last season of GSL? I feel like it was Solar who got hit with this pretty recently here. But no, excuse me, that was Serral. I'm forgetting my Zerg Phenoms.
Too many.
Way too many. But yeah, we got the Broodlords. Very important because Corruptors and an air army can't shoot down. Neural is on the way, so once that battlecruiser number gets much higher, that's when you can start to see that come into play. And yeah, overall, TY just doing a very slow, very methodical push, even sacrificing the SCVs for more army.
Probably 101. Maybe a few too many there, TY.
You know what I think of when I see those SCVs sacrificing themselves for a mech army? I think Warhammer, just those servitors. But yeah, that's a different one here. But yeah, here goes the first couple engagements here.
Now, both armies very, very interesting here. I really like Solus. Oh, very big anti-armor missile though.
Yeah, those Ravens gonna be so important because those Vikings can't fight that number without some sort of Dorito dust coming down.
There are 5 battle cruisers being made at a time.
TY got that filthy Terran money, that dirty esports money.
It's definitely a swag style of playing. I'm definitely a fan of how TY is playing, although this game could go on for literally 6 months.
Yeah, so we'll stop casting for now, and we'll see you guys next month.
Yeah, see you guys in November when this game finishes.
Yep, but yeah, I mean, both players just doing their due diligence and trying to get a couple of run-bys in. The Roaches, not that useful anymore, so he's just trying to trade them out. Trying to take that base as well. That one Roach is guarding it up. But the Broodlords trying to do their slow, methodical push. Does actually get a parasitic bomb off on that Raven. So really wants to keep that protected for right now.
Both players, when it comes to upgrades, soon to hit their 3-3 when it comes to air, and also a lot of melee upgrades coming in for Solar. Solar's bank is pretty good. His gas isn't as high as he'd like it to be. He has been forced to make a lot of upgrades. and also get this very high-tech army. But from now is when he will be banking big time. Oh, look at all these juicy infestors.
Oh, 2 Neurals. That's all I'm asking for, and then just a lot of pain for TY if that happens.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, like he's just trying to force himself down this narrow corridor, which I'm a bit worried about almost, because it's not really the best location when there is so much here for Solar. One thing I would like to see as well is just kind of getting some Hellions, trading out some of these tanks because they're not really that worthwhile versus the Broodlords, and just getting some Hellion run-bys, because otherwise Solar's, that bank is just going to go absolutely insane.
Solar's certainly very keen to trade right now. He does have the better economy, he does have more bases, I believe. Actually, TY is much more. TY's bank is huge. But the production is slower. All of these Vikings dealt with. You can see there is 13 being produced at a time, so it's certainly not irreplaceable. It's not as quick as Zerg can reproduce.
Yeah, those battle cruisers too, just trying to get what damage they can done. The investors are going to have to come back to defend this. Oh, if he can get the hive, that would be huge, but I don't think he will, just because. But gets a good cancel off on some of those Yamatos. And there is enough here. He is just going to force them. Yeah, there you go. That's exactly what you need to do as Solar.
So the battle cruiser number is reduced. Actually, a lot of Broodlords just went down too. Spores providing a lot of DPS here. You can hear Yamatos going up left, right, centre. We do also have a couple of Vipers. I'm not really sure what they're doing. They're not the most useful on their own.
Yeah, they need those corruptors, but 19 on the way. TY just can't produce as quickly as his opponent can.
Well,
those infestors.
Have, the bigger gas bank, and gas bank's very important in this game. He is considering to produce tanks, and whilst I do agree that tanks maybe not the most useful here, I personally would like Cyclones with that range upgrade.
Ooh.
Very quick, that would be nice. But these players definitely do know best.
Yeah, I mean, even getting another pick off on the Broodlords, that number is dwindling, so this ground army becomes a lot more effective. And you know, yeah, it's just so many corruptors though, you can't engage into that, and he's trying to remake those liberators for this defensive position. That's not going to really work here. Like Solar even just feels confident enough to come in here fighting under missile or on top of missile turrets rather.
Very, very nice there. He is using that caustic spray. I think that's what's good. On the planetary there, forcing it to have to be repaired. A lot more liberators being added at the moment. We do see Yamato coming down. Some of the investors getting picked off. Very, very nice. Other units are definitely should be prioritised right now, I think. This fight very, very close. TY still down in supply. His air army is actually starting to get very, very weak. Well, actually his army supply is less than powerful at the moment. He is making a lot of Vikings, but I just feel like once Solar gets on top of the Viking production, which he is now about to do, there's no way for this to be dealt with.
Yeah, and there's just not many units out on the map anymore that really can fight this air army, so 12 liberators. I know they used to be really good versus corruptors, but I think in this instance, no. Although the banks of both players have started to really dwindle here as they've been trading, so it's kind of just going to come down to who runs out of money first.
I think the main problem right now is that Solar just has way too many corruptors. 35 currently on the map, and 16 liberators do not solve that scenario. You can see everything gets one shot immediately as it shows up. The production is completely being camped now by Solar. He's even chasing down these air units. The tanks are forced behind the third base, miles away from where they want to be seen.
If he can get one good Dorito cannon on those corruptors, and the liberators will be able to go to town. But even just splitting up because he can just take out everything at once. I think TY will be tapping out here relatively shortly, which would send Solar up to match point. But here we go. The Raven getting a really good shot off, and those Liberators going to start to go to town and actually doing some pretty good work on all of this, but they are fungled down and they will start to fall, and that will be the end of TY's air army. One more parasitic bomb just to add insult to injury, and Solar, the Swarm. Yes.
The Swarm certainly prevailing in that one, guys. Solar looking absolutely incredible in that late game. In the series, he showed maybe his early game not fantastic, but his late game absolutely phenomenal. TY matches. Happy face. Leave arcade.
That was game number 6, correct?
Yes. So we have one.
Okay. Yep. So it's going to be
Kairos.
The last map of the pool, which will be Kairos. One of my favorite maps because my buddy and my clan actually built it.
No way, that's wicked.
Yeah.
Good map.
He's very humble. He's very humble though, guys. So if you see him on ladder, don't scare him. He scares easily.
What's his name? Give him a shout out he deserves. Wait, I can probably see it.
So yeah, shout out to Solstice243 for making this. It's an awesome map. Like, very standard. Has one of the shortest rust distances in the current pool. It's 36 to natural to natural. So we'll have to see who's going to take advantage of that. I always say rush distance is one of the most important things in a map.
It is for me. I can rush every game.
Well, yeah, that's just you though.
Also, 3 pylon walls, very important. Map makers, give me more 2 pylon walls so I can abuse.
Just give you 1 pylon wall, like.
Don't even joke about such a thing. 1 pylon wall and I'll win GSL.
Yeah, until Classic gets a 1 pylon wall on you first.
Okay, go. Just wait to see if Solar is ready. Solar.
Might just take a second. 2, 3, 1.
Here we go. We are loading in, guys, to match point for Solar. This is Kairos Junction.
And TY has to make a comeback here. He's got 2 games to do so. Or 3 games, rather.
Yeah, he's down. Yeah, he's down 4-2, right? Yeah.
Yes.
We are loading in, guys, as you can see. I hit my transition button too early. That's fine. Okay. 4-2. There we go. Such good memory. In the top left, he needs a comeback. He needs a miracle, some may say. Playing for Team Splice. He's the blue Terran player. It's TY.
And his opponent down here looking to close it out on match point. It is our red Zerg, Solar.
Okay, so what are we going to see? It doesn't look like any very early shenanigans. Unless I've missed anything. No, it isn't. Okay, so it is very standard so far. From our Terran player, our Zerg player as well, looking like he will be going for that hatch first. So we're going to have a standard opening in Kairos Junction. Pretty exciting.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say that, remember, both of these guys have actually tried those kind of sneaky plays in terms of aggression in the early game, and both times for both sides it hasn't really worked out. These guys are just way too on top of everything. So I guess they both kind of realize that the only way they're going to win is in a straight up kind of macro game.
And is that what you think T1 is? Is that T1's win condition, to just get a macro game but on his terms?
Yeah, like he tried out the air mech. It didn't really work. Once those corruptors come out, it's just really difficult to make work. And the fact that he didn't make battle cruisers early on, he wasn't pumping those out before the infestors got there, just really hurt his case a lot in that game. So maybe more standard mech would be pretty good, because there are some positions you siege up a tank and you can get some epic shots off.
Yeah, especially
especially
around these walls and things. This position around here, this whole area is absolutely incredible for tanks.
yeah, and especially the big thing is around the Zerg thirds are just really good
Yeah.
to detonate on. So I think TY needs to go for some sort of push timing and just absolutely win the game from there.
For now, it does look very, very standard for players. Nothing exceptionally strange happening just yet. I'm surprised to see Solar take this third. I know some do prefer to take the triangle. This one more susceptible to run-bys and things like that, especially when the Hellions are out. But if anyone has a plan for it, it is going to be Solar. Standard one.
Yeah, yeah, nothing crazy just yet. Although once that star bar comes out, we'll have a much better idea of what he's going to kind of go for. Still pumping Hellions, so he will be safe. But he actually did skip the Reaper, by the way.
Very interesting. Go for those 2 Marines earlier, trying to deny a scout. You can see that this...
Almost got it, too.
Yeah, Overlord is very low. We should see an air unit relatively... Okay, the Starport Destruction Marauders is concussive on the way.
Oh, he's going for a push.
It does certainly look that way. The scan does come down to deny this. Concussive shell is on the way, so we are going to see a push, guys. I'm not certain of the makings of this push. It's going to be certainly very interesting. A lot of Marauders.
This is new to me too. Like we should see an armory come down. Yeah, there it is. So a big Hellbat push. The concussive cells. Actually, he canceled it. Never mind.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, but those Marauders going to be really good versus those Queens, and just with the Medivac micro potential here, this could be very scary. Solar doesn't really have a lot here. TY is double the army supply.
Very, very.
But he knows he knows something's up now.
Restarted concussive.
Oh, he canceled it so that he could have enough gas for the armory.
That makes sense. Baneling
but Solar,
actually not going to be the right response this time. Banelings, obviously, if the Marauders are leading, and they will be, not perfect. They don't do a lot of damage. The Marauders very, very tanky. We're seeing a lot of Hellions and Marauders move out. Oh my god, there are so many Hellions on the map right now. Already 8 Marauders and a couple of Marines. Armory is finished, so we're probably about to see 8 Hellbats or 6 push in the front. And now the Marauders do drop on top of the Queens. Very, very nice. This is a really, really sick build, actually.
Banelings aren't even done yet. He can't even make them. And just morphing right in the face of danger. The Marauders have to be careful with them, actually. Does not want to lose them. But the Medivac does go down. So far, this is actually amazing for TY here. He's cleaned up the entire army. The Queens going down. And that is going to be it. TY bringing it back in this game.
Now 4-3, guys. TY needs one more to take this all the way to map 9. Very, very nice there. Very aggressive. Really interesting build that Terrans will be doing on ladder, I am certain.
Yeah, so, I've already got it. You're lucky I don't have the replay on me.
I'll send you it, don't worry.
Thank you.
So the map pool now resets, if I'm correct?
Yep. They can choose any of the 7 maps.
Cool. Let me just get that. TY map. TY just won. Solar map choice. Right? Yeah.
Yep.
All available. Yeah.
that was awesome.
That was
like
really,
very
really
innovative.
Really nice build.
Just shows TY has a lot of tricks up his sleeve. And we're going to actually be going back to Acropolis for game number 8. So, I mean, first game, pretty good. TY tried some things, didn't really work out for him. But, you know, he's got the momentum back. He's got that last game in the belt.
Players are being invited, guys. We should be getting into map 8. 4, 3, 8. Really had to think about that. Very, very shortly. Just making sure these players are ready. TY says go, go. Solar says go, go. We are going to load in. to Acropolis. So we're back to a bigger map passer. I'd certainly expect more of a macro game. It's very unusual to see anything ultra aggressive on this map. It is so big. Up if I tab into the game. You still here, Passer?
I have muted myself to take a drink of water, and I never came back.
That's completely fine. In the bottom right, let me sort out these scores. 4-3. There we go. Playing for Team TSG, Triumphant Song Gaming, and the Chinese Pro League. It is the Red Zerg at match point. It's Solar.
And his opponent. If you say his name twice, it means thank you for the MMR he's getting from you. It is TYTY.
So as we anticipated, there are no proxies, no real shenanigans on the map, no Bly builds coming out of Solar just yet, and no proxy wraps on Acropolis. The map is absolutely huge. Getting across takes like 3.5 weeks. You have to get a camel. It takes ages.
You need to get your visa in order.
Yeah. Very true.
Yeah.
I'll have to start doing that soon once Brexit happens. It's so frustrating.
Yeah, it's okay. Don't worry. We'll let you into the States for free.
Yes. At least Home Story Cup coming up. I can go to that so easily.
Oh, I really hope I can get to that. Home Story Cup in Las Vegas is going to be epic.
I'm so sad. I'm sad on a personal level because I like to go to Home Story Cups in Germany. It costs me like less than $100 return to get to Home Story Cup.
Oh, you know what sucks is I lived 2 hours from where Home Story Cup was going, but I worked at like 4:30 in the morning and I couldn't get off for it. So I missed it and I was this close.
Best event of the year. Nothing quite like it. For now, the builds continue to be very normal. If you see me on the Home Story Cup stream, I apologise in advance. There's a bar. There's 2 bars. And I'm English. Cliches exist for a reason.
No, yeah. I need to find a good pub.
A good pub?
It's very hard to find.
Yeah, it is. Not for me. I can just throw a stone.
Yeah, Yeah, I mean, you're cheating though. You got the Irish pubs right there and everything.
Yeah.
We don't get that. We got McDonald's.
I used to live. I moved recently, and where I used to live, if I travelled 1 hour, I could only see 2 McDonald's. In any direction, 1 hour, 2 McDonald's throughout the entire.
Yeah.
Throughout 40 miles, there's 2 McDonald's.
Oh, that's not too bad. That's the number you need.
Well, yeah,
Although McDonald's in Europe.
How close?
McDonald's in Europe is much better. I'm actually not very close to that many.
Oh.
Like, I think there's like 2 to 7 within like a 10-mile radius.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
McDonald's in Europe is better. The one in the Netherlands is incredible.
No, I love McDonald's in Europe. It tastes way better than in the States.
I've never been to the States.
No, don't get fast food here. Then you will hate it.
What about In-N-Out?
Okay. 3 places you go,
okay.
And then we'll talk about the game, guys.
Yeah.
You go to Five Guys.
Okay.
You go to Chick-fil-A.
Okay.
And the third one you go to is a regional chain. It's down here in the south. Okay. Cookout.
I've not heard about that. Is it like barbecue?
Yeah, it's kind of like barbecue. It's kind of like barbecue. It's awesome. And you know what else is like barbecue? I don't like Mexican food, so Chipotle not that bad.
Oh yeah, see, I
do. Speaking of barbecue, we're actually not going to see that many barbecued Zerglings in this game, just because skipping the Hellions, he's going to go for a big timing push here. It looks like with Stim.
Yeah, TY certainly gearing up to be the aggressor in this map. Behind this, we do have a relatively well-timed lair coming out of Solar. Solar is seeing these first few units move across the map, and even this is a little unusual to see units this early moving across to start kicking off even. Nice micro by both players. The Reaper does eventually fizzle out. 2 more racks
Yes.
in production.
Yeah, he does have that 3rd base, so it's not a 2 base all in. But yeah, right now, both players just kind of gearing up. I think Solar has realized that something might be going on here with just the number of Marines he saw and the fact that there are no Hellions out pressuring him. So he does throw down that Baneling Nest. He's getting those Evo chambers for those upgrades roughly at the same time as TY, which is funnily enough.
There we are.
So yeah, here we go from TY. Maybe one more tank before he goes. I think that would be the ultimate number.
Does look like he is getting ready. Are there any medevacs yet on the map? Nope. Are there any in production?
He
Yeah.
just started to.
Okay, so they
Like
will
he-
arrive. Oh, actually, he's setting it up defensively.
Yeah, he was prioritizing that tank production before getting the medevacs. But yeah, just pumping out Marines and getting a couple more racks even. So this Hydraliston gonna come up unscathed.
TY does get in and see the transfer of SCVs to the 3rd, sees how quick it is and sees how well saturated it is, gets an idea of what he's up against. The Overseer will get full information as well, which is very, very nice to be able to run around and get a good read of the game. It's very, very
Yeah.
nice. I think anytime after 4 minutes, if you can get a full scout, you feel great. You know exactly what's coming, you know what to prepare for. You can see he starts to add in more and more units. He's getting those Hydra upgrades. Still feels comfortable enough to drone though.
Yeah, but here we go. The first kind of big engagement here. 2 medevacs worth of Marines gonna get surrounded and will have to get on out of there. Those Queens just so bad for the lifespan of a medevac.
Oh yes, completely. With the range of a Tempest.
Yeah, so they're just gonna, like, those Marines are just gonna chill out right here. Probably just try and shave off some of those Banes. Stay clear of the Queens if they can. And pull Solar's army this way while he prepares for an attack in a different location. Good focus fire. Yeah, but there was a...
Do fall down. More drops being loaded up though. TY looking to get very, very aggressive. Going to see some innovation style play. Mass drops. Hit everywhere at once. Especially when the Zerg is spread quite thin.
Well, that's really what you got to do on this kind of map. Just make your opponent have to react to what you're doing. And the fact is, with these drops, good pickoffs on the Banelings there. He's focus firing them down. And yeah, he's just going to do what he can, get on top of those bases, and force these link.
Perhaps very, very nice there from TY. Slows down his opponent further. But behind this, he is taking his 4th base. He is getting as many tanks as he can. You can see we're already up to 5, and there is another one in production. Starting to add in Liberators. Keeping his upgrades rolling, both of them at 2-2 similar times.
Yeah, so both sides
right now. Very steady. Calm before the storm.
Yeah, so really what TY wants to do right now is just stay out on the map with these guys and start to pick off the creep and everything. Even getting some pickoffs on those Banelings, a really good focus fire by him. TY just wants to clear that creep. That's what he needs to do. He needs to force units to be produced and wants to, if he can, kind of stop those units from Solar being made, or drones rather.
My concern for TUI right now is Solar has shown in every late game scenario so far today that he is unbelievably good. And TY's let him get there. He's at 87 workers, his hive is 3/4 of the way done, his spire is coming up, his upgrades are good, we can see ultras, we can see broodlords, and can TUI beat it? Because he's not been able to so far. I don't think that's the best siege up position, my friend.
He wants to get that raft. You know, the Overlord. Just wondering what he's doing. I didn't even know you could siege up there like that. That's actually pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, the good thing for TY is he's reacting a lot quicker to the late game scenario this time. He's already got 2 more starports on the way. The Spire is complete, so Broodlords will be happening pretty soon. As you can see, the Greater Spire there. And this time TY is actually a lot quicker on the draw, so he will be in a much better position for the late game than he was in the previous couple of games.
Now, TY is setting up very well. I completely agree with you. Solar is starting to add in a couple of Vipers, getting his adrenal glands, hitting all of the spots that you'd like. His creep is unbelievable as well. The only side it's slightly lacking is this left side, and he still has active demons there.
It's kind of just funny how on the biggest map his creep spread has been the best.
Yeah. You can see by Solar's APM going over 600 regularly. He is not messing around now. He has found his rhythm. He is ready to go. His army right now may look, you know, relatively low tech. There are a lot of lanes, a lot of Hydra, but a very strong army is coming behind it. The greatest fire is almost done.
You know, trading out a lot of these Lings as well. Just needs to buy some supply here. I don't think he started making Corruptors just yet, because he is pretty much maxed out between all of this. And yeah, just overall, his army is still pretty low tech, and it's kind of a hashtag just Zerg problems. Can't make a Broodlords because you don't have enough supply.
Yeah, Solar's trying to trade out. He's forced to make as many Lings as he can to keep that strong core of his army. But oh my god, look how many creep tumors there are. It makes it so difficult to see what's army.
Oh. Yeah, there is no army. Only creep tumors. These are just sentient creep tumors.
Ghosts now in production, and nuclear missiles are armed. We are going to see a repeat of game, whichever number it was. There's been so many, I've forgotten.
Cyberforce game number 6, I believe.
Well done, you.
I'm probably lying, but you know, big drop in the main base as well. Sees the Great Spire, sees the +1, and these Lings actually getting shredded to bits. They do have adrenal glands, so they're doing, like, they should have been doing a decent job, but the splits now just going to be as annoying as possible. Those Marines will go down, but not after doing some great damage.
8 drones go down, force a huge amount back, trade extremely cost efficiently against the Zerglings, which is really important. It comes down to cost efficiency in this late game scenario.
He lost so many Zerglings with that. It's unreal.
Still no Corruptor's been added, just Lings. Very interesting. Solar actually mixing it up a little bit. He has all the options he would need to transition, but he hasn't yet gone for it. I mean, these Lings are giving me about 10 FPS. Very, very large amounts here. Very swarm-like. This base, unfortunately, not long to continue, is cancelled. The SCV falls, and the creep spread.
There we go.
There we are. To be absolutely mental.
Yeah, he finally is able to get the Corruptors there. He's just been focusing so heavily on these Lings and Hydras. Now TY needs to get on the map, but he sees the scan, and he probably knows how worthless it's going to be to scan for those creep tumors all over the place. But
best way to deal with this now is this way. Nuclear missiles are starting to be launched. Solar very much ready for this, I imagine. The pull.
Yeah, he sees it.
Bada boom.
Boom.
Oh, 4 drones still going down, actually. Slightly misread the pull there, didn't go quite as far as he needed to. Another, there we go. That's the way you clear the creep.
Oh. Yeah, that's the only way to do it at this point. Just nuclear intervention. But yeah, he's just going to clean up as much of it as possible. The Queens won't be able to get over here in time because they need to defend against the nukes from now on. So yeah, those Ghosts, just a good addition as well, because they will be able to snipe off the Broodlords when they morph in. And I don't think he actually has morphed any in just yet. He's staying on the Corruptor tech. Maybe feels like he is in a good position just overall with what he's got and doesn't want to change things up and try and be too aggressive teching up.
Now, Solar's bank is very, very good. His gas is a little bit low, but he's mining so much gas that will rocket up in the next 2 to 3 minutes. Solar just really needs to sit back, I think. I think he's comfortable. Don't take too much damage from any of the nuclear missiles. Don't let TY stamp his... and get that tempo with those nukes. He can transition into any choice he needs to, depending on how he trades as well. Snipe's very good on these Corruptors. Gets a few of them for free.
Yeah, pretty much free. And yeah, like behind all this, Solar still has been respreading his creep. The Queens been working overtime once again. They don't just have a 9 to 5; they have a 9 to 9. Needs to get those back. Does not want to lose the orbital commands, because at this stage in the game, you want to start kind of not replacing your workers as the Terran. You want to kind of rely on mules a bit more.
Yeah.
In terms of that, so you can get a bigger army. But overall, like, TY is so defensive, and it's really actually working out for him for the most part, just because he hasn't really taken any damage from any of this.
We do see nuclear missiles in stereo, 2 being dropped at the same time. And these are looking like they're going to hit pretty... Oh, my lord.
Oh, so many spore crawlers. That was actually awesome for TY, because those spore crawlers going up so close to his base would have made it so difficult to move out. So getting those is very nice. And the Broodlords, he sees them, he doesn't really care. The corruptor count is super small, and there are so many ghosts on the field now.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
8 ghosts currently out.
Oh, 14 Vikings as well. This is great.
I love them when it goes down.
Oh, he had a family, man.
Not anymore. These SCVs are sacrificed. It would be nice. This tanks managed to use the SCVs as bait, and that's quite nice. Managed to just, trade a little bit for those SCVs, because even though you're throwing units away, there's a lot of Vikings. You want to try and get something for it.
Yeah.
See, both players now sitting at a 70-ish worker count. We should see that in the next few minutes go down. So we're about 60, maybe 55, depending on how well they bank. Oh my god, this base is ambitious.
Very ambitious. Like, I think he wants to take this one first, so that taking the back base there is a bit easier and a lot safer. But we do see Infestors going to be on the way. We got servos coming down as well. I think that's pretty much just for the Vikings, because nothing else here gets affected by it. But again, he's still just throwing down a lot of starports, so he wants to start winning the air battle versus these Broodlords. I think that is the most important thing for him right now, because he's just going to bleed out these tanks if he's not careful.
And all these units are trading not the most efficiently right now. You can see the bank for Solar is absolutely huge. When you're above 4k gas, you feel great. When he is above 5k, he can remax instantly to make Infestors, he can make Corruptors, he can make high, whatever he chooses. Very, very easy to make for him. You can see there are planetaries everywhere. This one here, as well. More workers do also fall.
Tries to divide. Oh, you know what? If he gets a few of these nukes off, look at all those larvae. That's going to be the big kicker here. They're so... Oh my gosh. Losing that larva count is actually awesome, because it's going to really hurt his ability to remax here, is Solar's.
Definitely, and he just went down from about 30 to 15, and obviously there aren't that many queens left, if any, 2. So you won't be having more injects at this point. And this base actually managing to survive is very nice as well. Another one in the main.
Oh, he can't remax now. Like, just too many nukes is going to take out all the rest of the larva count. We're going to try and get those on the last second. Oh, so close.
Yeah, that nuke does manage to survive. We have a lot of Infestors though, and my concern for TY remains that Solar in the game inside the forest, when he's got all those Infestors, is the best fight you can imagine. Now this nuke is terrifying.
Yeah, nice. This is where you're gonna. This is where you're just going to start to use the nukes for spacing, just making sure that your opponent can't really move in. 10 more workers going down, by the way. 46 for Solar, so... that... Yeah, well, I mean, he has to at this point. He's dropped way too far down in that count. Oh, this nuke. Do it. Do it. Do it. Oh. Solar, you're playing with fire here. Nuclear fire. It's like Chernobyl all over again.
It's spores.
Attacking spores, the best units for the attack.
Those guys sure know what hit. It takes so long to put spores.
But yeah, all those going down actually means Solar can't really maintain that position as easily, effectively as he'd want to. There's still a lot of infestors here, so snipes not going to be as effective. So need a couple of good EMPs here, but the Corruptors moving a bit far forward, not in range of those infestors. Has to be careful with those. But the Ghosts actually completely out of position here, going to be trading out on this side. Wants to take another base.
Another nuclear missile is going down. Oh god, Ghosts. Okay. Always scary when you see Ghosts walking towards nuclear missiles.
He's about to nuke his own SCVs and his own base. Actually getting a couple good cancels off.
Now Solar's bank is still very, very large. He has a huge amount of gas, but he's just not managed to trade any units for so long now. Okay, now this is starting to look like there's some potential here for Solar. This command center, I imagine, will not make it. There are a lot of broodlings forcing broodlings to go to his back. And the control needed from the both big players right now can't be overstated. It is absolutely huge. One mistake. You move command one place wrong, you lose this game.
It is a madhouse. I'm loving how TY has been using those nukes pretty effectively and just doing what he can on that front. And like his economy is still epic, and he's starting to get that bank. Both players maxed out, so both players will have that bank for a long time here. The Ghosts, though, need to start getting those snipes off. Those Broodlords keep going away from these defensive units. That's almost GG here. Bye-bye. Oh, come on. One
Very
good nuke,
close.
please. That is all I'm asking for, is one good nuke.
Good. These players too good to... Oh, another one.
But it has been good. Like, it has been good that he's been pulling away at the very last second, because if he pulls away earlier, then TY can start to take that position. But the fact that he does not move away means he's close by and can reestablish himself as Solar.
Solar continues to just try and edge forward. He is picking off static defense, which is nice. The tank as well will fall. A couple of Ghosts will get tickled. Nothing huge here. Solar's bank still remains absolutely mental.
Yeah, he is up there. His mining has taken a really big hit, however. He's currently mining 500 less, but the Vikings really have to be careful here. Those Corruptors focus firing the Liberators as the priority, allowing these Vikings to get on top of everything. The snipes going down as well. I'm getting some rubber banding from the screen share, so this looks a lot more epic than it should. It's like a slow motion movie.
I apologise if we lose a couple of FPS. I don't have the best computer. I'm also screen sharing, so Passer can see this. So
It actually looks pretty good.
We'll try our best.
It's looking pretty good, just from what I can see.
These
But
late game scenarios. Very
oh my,
difficult. Oh.
these nukes are glorified creep clearers right now. Now that is a nice position to put one, because that will clear out all this. Position once again going to go down, and Solar just keeps taking these bases, and I don't know about him. I don't think he needs any more at this point. He doesn't even have the drone count to mine them. But here we... Yeah, I think a couple of Overlords went down there. But once again, here we go. Viper gets sniped very quickly here. The Ghosts don't have a way to get their snipes off. Those Broodlords can get right on top of them. And that is huge right now.
That was a very, very good fight there for Solar. Solar was able to pick off a few Ghosts as well. Let's keep a look at the unit counts right now. There are still 12 Ghosts. There are 16 Broodlords, 9 infested. You can see all of these Changelings. Oh, God, you can tell it's been a long game. Getting picked off, but they're providing so much vision. They're so difficult to deal with. They require such a huge amount of APM to manually target.
Yeah,
step forward there.
Yeah, he's finally getting out into the middle of the map again, which is good for him. This nuke is going to force one Spore Crawler to reposition, and yeah, he's just slowly. This is how you have to play it with Ghost Liberator. Slowly very methodically. Can't get surrounded, and you can't get overrun in the backfield. So all he's trying to do is retake ground a little bit at a time, and I think it's overall okay for him, but he just needs something as well to kind of block for those ghosts so they can get those effective snipes off.
Yeah, the ghosts definitely the key to the army here. The Liberators, TY's been going for them a lot in these hyper-late scenarios, and whilst definitely they are good for dealing with some things, I don't know, I just feel like the amount he has is proving difficult for him to win the air battles. I'm not really sure what the answer to that is. I guess getting those ghost snipes. There is also a small marine run by. I really like this. Just, even small groups of bio at this point can be useful.
Yeah, because there's not really much that shoots down left. The bird lords you can't really push towards there because then they'll get surrounded by, not surrounded, but picked off. But one good fungal on all of these Vikings actually going to turn the fight here. Might, like, if he can get rid of those overseers, actually, he can cloak up a lot easier and get those snipes off. But no, look at this. Snipes are getting canceled. Those ghosts in a horrible position right now, unfortunately. He's getting some good ones off overall, but he's not picking off exactly what he needs to. The supply dropping so heavily. Look at the supply, Kalaris.
Todd definitely would be enjoying this. The supply very, very scary. Now the good thing going for TY is that there are no corruptors left.
13 more investors.
Oh my god. Once these corruptors get here, I do think this becomes very, very scary. You can see the Broodlords are starting to be tinkered away out, but there's just so little damage from these Liberators. And now the Infestors are showing up. The Fungals immediately go down to peel for these Broodlords, and the corruptors are... Ooh. My mouse just...
Oh. If he focus fired those overseers, that would be his best case scenario right now, because then the cloaks would be more effective. But yeah, there's just nothing to buffer for the ghosts, and he doesn't even have the gas to replenish them anymore.
The scary thing for TY right now, and I think the coup de grace
is poverty.
For Solar is he's forced to make Marines. Marines are not very good against this. GG is called. Solar takes the series.
Solar.
Absolutely incredible.
Very dominant.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, great try out of TY though, bringing it back, making it an absolute wicked series there. Overall, these two showcased us the best of the best.
Definitely incredible ZVT there. Congratulations to Solar. He does take the lion's share of this prize pool. GG is called from both players in chat. GG, well played.
And yeah, that's like, if you can stick with us for a second, we do have a couple more shout outs we got to do. So shout out to our amazing sponsors who made all of this possible. 24 Hour Fitness, an excellent company, 24 hours, like the name suggests, you can go anytime. So whether you're just trying to work off a ladder session that didn't go your way, or you want to get that dream bod to make all the nerds super jealous, you can check them out and get a 7-day free pass from them. And that is more than enough to know whether you are ready for the lifestyle.
The other people we need to talk about, guys, and I'm sorry to throw two on you at the same time, is GameStop. GameStop, obviously one of the biggest, if not the biggest game retailer in the world, across Europe, across the States. If you want your controllers fixed, you want the latest AAA titles, you want to go and trade some stuff in, you want to check out all of the amazing things they have, you can do that. Not only that, their newest program provides coaching for some of the most prominent teams and players in the world. No matter what your game is, no matter what you enjoy, check them out through the Matcherino page. They can help you improve, and they bring the power to you.
Power to the gamer, always. So I think that's pretty much it. Once again, congratulations to Solar, and yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in. It's always a blast.
Thank you guys. Thanks for sticking with us. We will be back on this channel in just 35 minutes. I will be casting the BJ Destruction Team League.
Ooh, good luck.
Between Team Maru and Team... I really should know this. It is the final day of the standard season. Well, actually, I think it's already started. Between Team Maru and Team Hero. So, guys, please check that out. We will be live very shortly with that one. Have a lovely day. Thank you, Pastor, for joining me.
Yeah, always a pleasure.
No worries. Have fun. Good luck. Enjoy the ladder. And we will see you next time.